Mabuhay everyone, MARKCHES here. Welcome to the channel, and for today's video, I'll be giving you my performance review of the all-new Shadow 4 from Way of Wade. Let's go. Guys, before we go through the performance review of the Shadow 4s, I would just like to remind you guys, if you haven't subscribed yet to this channel, please do so, and of course, click the subscribe button, and of course like this video if you can afterwards. In front of me is the Shadow 4 from Way of Wade, which is a partner company of Leaning. Way of Wade is of course from a partnership with Dwayne Wade, and this is one of their teardown version. So the main line is the WoW 10, I would say the All City, and the WoW 808 Ultra. Then next will be this and the 808, the regular ones, and of course the lowest ones I think is the D-Low Ice Blood. So this one is the mid-tier model, one of the mid-tier models rather, of Way of Wade. And thank you again for Way of Wade for letting me try this out. First, I wasn't too excited with the sneaker. I thought it would be just a regular teardown version model from Way of Wade because, as you know, if you've been watching my performance review, I've been loving the 808 All City, of course the main line WoW 10, which is my number one for last year. And of course I couldn't put up my expectation that much. But guys, when I tried this on, I played with them, it really surprised me. Another banger from Way of Wade. So let's elaborate that. Let's start off with the upper of the Shadow 4s. It has the same kind of fused knit material found on the 808 regular ones, which is like a ripstop material that's kind of knit. It's similar to the Jordan 34's upper if you had that. And it's the strings are fused, so it really gives you a very nice support from the forefoot to the heel. Plus on some parts where the high wear areas are on the edge of the sneaker, on the toe area, then it goes to the mid part. This mid part near the lacing system is also fused by a lot, and on the medial part too it's fused. So really where you need the support on the sneaker, it has that extra fusing, and on the other areas that you don't need fusing, there's a lot of ventilation holes here in the top part of the toe box. Lateral and medial part of the midfoot is also very well ventilated. So if you want a very well ventilated sneakers like the 808s, that's one of the strengths of the 808s. It's very well ventilated, very similar to the Jordan line, Jordan 35 to the 36, 37. They are very well ventilated. If you are looking for a sneaker like that, you will surely like the Shadow 4, especially here in the Philippines where it's hot and you need to cool down your foot and prevent your socks from over sweating. This is an ideal sneaker, especially for outdoor use. As for the tongue, it's like a jersey like material which has enough padding, although it's not too thick. It has a thicker padding near on top where your ankle collar is, so when you tighten up the laces you won't have any discomfort. And when I played with them, didn't have any discomfort at all. And of course it's half booty upper, so the tongue doesn't move, so it doesn't go side to side or anywhere else. And of course, one of the strengths of this sneaker is the lacing system, which I really like, because when you pull the laces, it can lace or tighten up quickly, and you want to unlace it, loosen it. It's very easy to loosen up. Just pull from the top going down, then it's very easy. Then put your foot in. It's a mid-top sneaker, so at first it's kind of hard to put your foot in at first, but what you really need to do is loosen up the laces. Then after that, you're good to go. Another thing that's nice about the sneaker in terms of support is on the lacing system, where you can see this gray part here in the like the midfoot, forefoot area. This gray part is an additional strap that goes down to the footbed that acts like wings, and it also has it here near the ankle. So these two parts, when you tighten it up, it really hugs your foot here and doesn't let your foot move anywhere else. And this one really contains your ankle or heel part down to the footbed of the sneaker, thus making the sneaker, although it doesn't have that much Achilles pillows, it has, but it's relatively thin, but you wouldn't have any heel slippage. Lockdown is amazing on this. So you can see this is kind of familiar in this part, this heel part, the back part. And actually, Way of Wade really said that, the PR said that this took inspiration on the design of the Jordan 34. So maybe you like it, maybe not, or you have mixed feelings, but for me, in terms of performance, it didn't have any problems. I like it. And since it's a mid-top sneaker, your ankles are a little bit more protected than usual. And if you are looking for something like that in the market, it has a very nice ankle protection, plus the lockdown because of the strap really pulls your foot down to the footbed, making it a very good lockdown sneaker. At the back part, it has the foam type heel plate, so it's kind of soft here outwards, but in the inside you can feel the plastic inside, so that cups your heel really nicely. And as for the strobo plate, or I would say strobo fabric, like what I really like about the Woutens, what else, the All City has this, so it's like a jersey like material, like the air cool material, and you can really feel the cushion right below your foot. So the cushion on this one is a full length cloud carrier foam plus an extra boom unit in the forefoot. And what's nice about the cushion setup of this one is it's relatively close to the ground. It has a very nice subtle bounce in the forefoot given that it is a low profile sneaker, plus a very nice impact protection in the heel given that it's really close to the ground. So I was quite impressed with the cushion setup of the Shadow 4 because I thought it would lack, or it won't have enough cushion for my style of play or for my type or preference, but it played really nicely, so really shocked with the cushion setup. I think the cloud comb that they use here is different density because it's a lot more plush, plus of course the boom in the forefoot that popped this around this big, especially if you're jumping, you can really feel the boom compressing because there doesn't have a hard strobo board on the Shadow Force. So really nice cushion setup, plus this insole that they have, which is I think the more regular insole from Way of Wade, but it's thick enough. It's a lot denser than the ones found on the Nikes and Adidas. When I'm pressing it, it kind of gives a very nice recoil. There's some graphics at the heel part of the insole, so pretty nice insole, extra comfort below your foot. So as you can see, there's a bar here, so they're calling this a Pro Bar lock that you can also find in the All City. So what this do is give stability around the midfoot part of the sneaker, so preventing it to over twisting, and it really does its job really nicely and gives you an extra spring back around the midfoot part of the sneaker. While the traction of the Shadow Force, you can see like it's a digital pattern, very similar to the patterns on the All City. But what I really like about the outsole of this one is it has a similar shape to the outsole of the Woutens. And if you watch my performance review of the Woutens, I really like the shape of the outsole of the Woutens. It has a very nice curve in the forefoot and heel. It makes you move faster, gives you a quick step when you're moving forward, and it is really wide. You can see how wide it is in the forefoot, even in the top part, and a very nice lateral outrigger here, and an extra cushion up here so that when you're doing lateral steps sidewards, it contains your foot really nicely. and it doesn't wobble at all. So very stable outsole. It has a very quick balance to it. Another good job way of Wade for infusing or implementing a part of the Wow Tense, which is your main sneaker, and putting it in your lower tier sneakers. I absolutely like the shape of the outsole, while the traction is like, I mean, all your other basketball sneaker from Way of Wade. It bites really hard. The rubber compound is very pliable. It moves, so even if you are playing on the dusty floor, it will still grip, and on a clean court, it will squeak really loud and grip really hard. Like I said, doesn't pick up that much dust quickly, even though as you can see it's dusty or rather dirty, but still grips really nicely on the floor compared to the other sneakers that are used when I was playing with this. So thumbs up on the traction on this one. And like I've said, if you don't mind the cushion setup to be a little bit lower to the ground, but it gives you a very nice impact protection, you can hoop with this outdoors. Especially the upper is very well ventilated. The traction is hard. It's very suitable for outdoor use. And I think if you're a guard, lighter guard who wants extra ankle protection, you will surely love playing with this outdoors on a cement floor. It will give you a very nice balance of responsiveness, traction, ventilation, ankle support. Those I think are the highlights of the Shadow Force. As for the weight of the Shadow Force, let's weigh it in. This is a US 11. It weighs 420 grams, so for a mid-top sneaker, it's also very light. So kudos to Way of Wade for making, like I've said, the cloud foam usually is kind of heavier, but this one seems to be a lot lighter compared to their previous cloud foam. So I think they made a little adjustment on the cloud foam in the Shadow Force. For the price of the Shadow Force is 6,800 pesos here in the Philippines, or 120 US dollars if you're buying it from the States or in the website. If you want to cop this pair, it's available at wayofwade.com. I'll put the link down below. I'll put my affiliated link so I can get an extra commission and help out this channel when you buy a pair of these. So this is a very nice sneaker to have if you're more on a budget and if you want to try a different brand, different style of play. I mean, the Way of Wade has been killing it. I mean, not because they're letting me try the sneaker, but really very good performers from their recent releases. Good job, Way of Wade. Guys, let me know what you think about this Shadow 4 sneaker. Do you like them? I think they look really clean, plus this is the color of the year for 2023. So it looks clean, looks pretty neat. I really like the hologram too found on the thong and on the side panels. This is kind of holographic. So really good looking sneaker. Hit me a thumb if you've tried this sneaker. Let me know what your thoughts are on the performance. This has been MARKCHES once again. Thank you for dropping by this channel. I'll catch you in the next one. Cheers.